Hi, welcome to Julie the Thrifty Designer. Today I'm going to show you how I make my cranberry, we call it cranberry chutney. Could be cranberry relish or sauce. I'm not quite sure what category it technically falls under, but we call it a cranberry chutney. So I want to show you what I have done already, or what I'm going to do. It is, I'll show you a part of the ingredients at least at first, okay? We're going to have just a little bit of sea salt. A little bit of almond extract, a little bit of vanilla. In here, this is actually brown sugar, but it had gotten hard as can be. So what I did was I put it in my Vitamix and I just ground it up. I've tried the part with using bread and all that to soften it, but these were just too old, and I thought, well, rather than throwing them out, it'll still taste like brown sugar. It's just I'll have it ground up so it's more powdery. And then I have sugar in the raw or sliced turbinado, and then I have two big bags. I got these from Sam's Club of the Ocean Spray cranberries. It can be whatever brands you want, and you can make this as much or as little as you want. Then I have an apple, and I have oranges. I don't know if I'm going to need all four till I kind of taste as I go. A scrap bowl, have a knife, measuring spoons, and measuring cup. And I took the liberty, come on around over this way so we can have a better close-up with it here. I took the liberty of cutting my Ocean Spray cranberries, one whole bag already up. Now it doesn't take very long, but it took too long on camera. So I already did this texture. Come show how it looks here, okay? This here is a coarse chop, and that's how we like ours. Now you can make yours whatever way you want. So here's how I'm going to show you. I have this lovely thing called the Vitamix. Now you can do a Vitamix, or you can do a food processor. But for me, the Vitamix, and I have a food processor, but now that I have this new gadget, I don't need the food processor anymore, I guess. So, but you still have to do it in batches, because if you get too much, it doesn't really work. So I'm left it on here as a demonstration, what's left in here. And you see, I fill up in my food processor up about that far. You could probably go a little bit more, but not tons more. And just put it on, and I just put it on the low setting and just let it kind of go. It really looks nice. It just starts chopping it, and it slowly, whatever, makes a really nice grinding up here. I don't want it pureed, not yet, anyway. This one right here is almost ready, so it shows how quickly it goes, and it starts pushing up the ones that's already chopped while it's still grinding the others. It's really cool how this really works. Speed it up a little, and that's pretty well done. Simple, fast. Your food processor could be the same amount of time, and I just scrape it out into my bowl here. Now, I am serving for 30 people, 25 to 30 people. I think it is more closer to 30. But we like leftovers, and this freezes wonderfully, and you can thaw it out and bring it out maybe at Christmas time if you're going to have turkey again, which we are. So what we don't eat, I am going to put in the freezer. So, now, what I'm going to do now is, with the oranges here, you are going to need the rinds and all, at least on a couple of them. I am peeling one orange here. I have this from, where was this? Tupperware, I think, had this one time. I've had it for years, you can tell by the color. I mean, this thing is probably 30 years old, or if not older. In fact, I think it was my mother's, and I inherited it from her. It's a very old, but it is one of the greatest orange peelers possible. So if you ever can find anything, I don't even know if Tupperware still has anything like this, or if you can find something similar at another, store or whatever that has orange peelers. So what I'm doing is I've peeled one orange. Now make sure your oranges are organic because you are going to use peeling and all in eventually. I just wanted to show you. Peel off one and we can quarter it, section it out a little bit. This is not an extremely juicy one. I was hoping for juicy. But put it in here and we're going to grind it up. And I do want this puree. Vitamix is a very loud machine, but boy does it work. So now what I'm going to do is add cranberries to this. Because now this amount of cranberries I am wanting completely pureed. Because we want a little bit of juices to go in with what I've done here. Let it puree. And then to this, I'm going to add a teaspoon of my vanilla. Take this out. Get it all over. Now personally, you can put in as much or as little as you want. And I don't usually measure, but I am for your sake. And a teaspoon of the almond extract. Now this you don't need as much of. The vanilla you can add more. And then we're going to put in like half a teaspoon of salt. And you might want a little bit more, but approximately a half. Because salt helps bring out the flavor in sugar. Now I use the Celtic sea salt. This is good for you. It has all the vitamins and minerals and whatever salt has. It's not the type that is going to give you a heart attack from using salt. In fact, this helps to heal your body. It's a great thing. Okay, then I have my turbinado sugar. And we're just going to want to do it all over the place. That's what we want to do. Easier to pour it through this. A cup of it there. Excuse me on the camera. And cranberries are so tart. And 2 cups. And then I'm going to use just a little bit of the brown sugar. Maybe about a half a cup. There we go. About a half a cup of brown sugar. I'm only guessing, really, because I just usually dump it in. I'm terrible. That's how I cook. Now we're going to blend this all together, get it all in there. Now I did it in this order so that I could have the juice from the orange to help make it so I can puree and blend. See how smooth and creamy that looks? So I'm going to, excuse me, add it to my already cut up. And it's so pretty. Such a pretty color. everything is blending beautifully. Okay, now what I'm going to do, move this stuff out of the way here, put my scraps in there. Okay, need the end of that orange. Now I'm going to take this orange and I'm going to quarter it. And again, just kind of a couple at a time because I want it chopped and I want to be able to control it. I don't want it super pureed. Whoop. Just what I wanted to do. Oh well, that's life. So this I would like to have a little bit on the chunky side as well. Because it's nice to have the chunks of orange. And you can put as much orange as you want. Do you want it stronger orange flavor or on the light side? That is where your taste comes in. I'm going to taste this here in a moment and decide if it needs more sugar, if it needs more orange, once I kind of get it all blended. And this will keep for a couple of weeks without any sign of spoiling. But it doesn't quite go from Thanksgiving to Christmas. So I found if I want to keep the leftovers, I really do need to put it in the freezer. But it's starting to look so pretty. Then I also have the apple. And so I take the apple. Now you can use seeds and all, but I don't personally want it. So I'm just going to cut out the seeds because I just don't care for the thought of it. There we go. Now we're gonna kind of more or less puree it, or not puree it, but I mean chop it. It's softer, so I can leave it on the smaller speed. And we're just about there. And we're there. I don't know how applesauce I made or not, but we scrape it out. And you can do as many apples as you want as well. I like it with a little apple. It gives you just a little bit of a crunch. And we can always add more. But I think this might be enough. Alrighty. Scrape on that a little bit more, a bit. My hands, because they're sticky. Mix it all up. Isn't that looking really pretty? I love it. So, by using a whole orange, you could stand there and grate your orange peel. I don't need it. It just doesn't make any difference to me. But that is the prettiest thing. From here, this is basically what you do. Add more orange or less orange, more sugar or less sugar, depending on your taste. And let's see how it actually has come out. Whoops. Come on here. tart, but yet the sweetness is there. I think I'm going to want one more orange. So I'm just going to make it. Well, I should have probably did half of what I wanted to do to begin with. I don't think it needs the whole orange peel, but maybe a half an orange peel. Well, if I can get it off. This is not a very juicy orange. Not really. It's pretty dry, which is disappointing. But that's the way it goes. All right. So I'm just going to now add those. Just about perfect, I think. Now you can chop yours any old way you want to. But this is such a delicious recipe. I wish you could taste it. And you got chunks of orange and chunks of apple. And it just feels like the holidays. And it looks pretty for Christmas. It looks pretty for Thanksgiving. And it's just beautiful. And I think, I don't know if that orange was enough. Maybe just a smidgen more sugar. Let's see how it tastes now. Ooh, that's good. So about 2 cups of sugar. If you like it a little bit sweeter, you can. It wouldn't hurt to sprinkle a little bit more. Maybe I'll put just a tiny bit more of the brown sugar. I'll just sprinkle it in, because it will melt into it. So this is how I make my cranberry chutney. And my family really does love it. So, and it's chunky. And you know, you could add other things to this, like maybe craisins, dried craisins, other fruit that you might like. You know, the sky is the limit of what you can add to this. I saw a Martha Stewart one where she made one similar to this, and she put jalapenos in it. Not sure about that now. You could put walnuts in this, or cashew, or not really cashews. I guess you could. I was thinking pecans. You know, just some different textures and make it even more of a chutney in that sense. But you don't have to cook a thing. And it mingles, and it is delicious. So here is how I make it. So I hope you enjoyed my presentation on how to make our cranberry chutney. I want to wish you and your family the most blessed Thanksgiving you could ever have. It's day after tomorrow. It's gonna be here. Today I spent my day sweeping and mopping floors and gathering stuff together and making my piles of stuff I need to do. From here I'm gonna go on and cooking. I'm gonna start making my stuffing and my pies, and that's what I'm actually gonna be doing tomorrow. But I at least wanted to show you this, and it is delicious. So I just want to wish you again, happy Thanksgiving. May the Lord bless you, and may the Lord keep you. And you take care.